What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Little change of scenery today. They're actually doing construction over at the office, so I'm filming outside my house. The show must go on, people. I'm filming on the fly. We're making things happen. We're doing things regardless of the extenuating circumstances. So you still might hear some landscaping. You might hear the birds chirping. You might hear the wind. You might hear some pedestrians sauntering on by. And that's perfectly fine. We are outside in the wild. It's TV, baby. It's showbiz. It's actually just a Z-list YouTube channel, but whatever. Let's do it. Okay, so today I've made a list for you guys because it is the Wednesday episode, and every Wednesday I like doing little lists. And today, you're gonna feel my energy, okay? It's a borderline rant. I'm kind of angry because I've made a list of things that I don't want to see in 2021. And believe me, there's a lot of things that I just don't want to see in 2021, like in regards to life. But we're gonna be talking about watches today, okay? So without further ado, it's 1:27 p.m. Let's get down to business. All right, the first thing I don't want to see in 2021, limited editions. Okay, I'll probably keep saying this every year until it just stops happening, but I'm looking at you, Panerai. I'm looking at you, Omega. I'm looking at you, Seiko. I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. Okay, like Seiko is terrible because every cool watch they come out with, like if it's really interesting to you, it's going to be a limited edition and it's going to be over $1,000, and then scalpers are still going to jump on it. So that's terrible. Panerai is terrible because pretty much every new watch they come out with happens to be a quote limited edition. And again, guys, when everything is limited or special edition, it means none of it is limited or special edition. It just makes it boring. Like, stop saying everything is special, because if everything's special, then nothing's special. There's a plane. God, they don't know I'm filming? Stop! Stop it! My neighbors think I'm crazy, but they're probably used to it by now, let's be honest. And then finally, Omega is terrible because it seems like they just keep messing with the Speedmaster. Stop messing with the Speedmaster. Now, of course, the newest iteration of the Speedy Professional isn't a limited edition, but they're kind of doing a similar Seiko thing where every cool one is obviously like a limited edition. So just, yeah, stop it, guys. Stop it! And unfortunately, you guys know I do Microbrand Monday every Monday, and it looks like every microbrand now is kind of jumping on this limited edition batch bandwagon, and I just don't like it. Again, if everything you're releasing is like a special edition, then it makes it really not that special. So in my opinion, if you're just slapping on, ooh, limited to this number because you want to charge more for it, that's not added value. I don't care. I'm not going to pay extra because it's a little more scarce. It's just silly to me. So yeah, I'm not into it. The second thing I don't want to see in 2021 is, I guess this is kind of related to the first one actually, but it's specifically the 5KX cartoon releases. I just don't understand the appeal. Maybe if you're a child, and I know that this is going to bother a lot of people, but hear me out. I'm a huge fan of Street Fighter. Okay, I had a crush on Chun-Li when I was little. People say that I look like Zangief because I am big, loud, and obnoxious. I'm also of Eastern European descent, so I guess that kind of, it makes sense. And I'm jacked. Oh, God. Uh-oh, demonetized. But when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I often see Seiko and other purveyors upload these releases from the stupid 5KX line of Street Fighter and Naruto, and I'm sure there's going to be other ones, and it's not cool to me. Okay, the 5KX is like the Seiko equivalent to like the Invicta SpongeBob watch. It's just disgusting. So literally, they've discontinued the Seiko SKX, which is one of the most prolific entryways into watch collecting, just an iconic dive watch, and they've dumbed it down and they've made a mockery of it by just slapping on stupid IPs. I'm frustrated at this, but also there's like, the second I decide to start filming, like it's DEFCON 12, DEFCON 69, all the sirens are coming on. Like, what is going on? And the third thing I don't want to see in 2021 is actually also related to number 2. Wow, it's almost like I really took my time with this episode and made a very linear argument. Who would have thunk? I've actually thought about something for once. The third thing I don't want to see in 2021 are dive style watches. Ooh, this is inspired by a dive watch. Like, I get it, dude. People are like, oh, why are you even talking about dive watches? You're not a diver. Why do you even care about a 100-meter water resistance rating? When are you going to dive to 100 meters? Okay, that's, first of all, it's not how water resistance works. It's a pressure rating, not a moisture rating. But also, why? Why do you have to design a watch that looks like a dive watch, but then you're not going to give it the same type of specifications or the same type of build quality, but you still want that aesthetic so that people purchase it? And then what you're going to do is you're going to defend this stupid lackluster spec sheet by saying, oh, it's not a dive watch, it's a dive style watch. God, I'm just so angry right now. Gato, should we put this episode on Friday because it is actually a rant? Or should we just do it on Wednesday because it's a list? Because I don't know. You know what? Let's turn it up a notch. I'm going to start yelling. Yeah, I get it. People are going to complain. Oh, Jory, the first few items on this list are all just about the 5KX. Why can't you just move on? Well, I'm not going to move on. All right. The 5KX was so stupid and they had to bump off one of my favorite watches of all time, the SKX. Okay. Why did you have to get rid of the SKX to give us this stupid, ugly little piece of garbage? It shouldn't have ever happened. It shouldn't have ever happened. So guess what? Yeah. 1, I don't want to see any limited editions. 2, I don't want to see any stupid 5KX cartoon watches or any 5KX ever. And 3, I'm just sick of dive style watches. I don't care if it's the 5KX or any other type of company or watchmaker that wants to release a stupid dive style watch. If it's a dive watch with a timing bezel, rotating bezel, offset crown, give it a threaded crown, give it a water resistance rating, and actually make it a competent dive watch. All right, well, if anybody's still watching this episode, number 4 has nothing to do with the 5KX, so you'll all be very happy. I'm sick of Meteorite Dials. Okay, 2019 was very big on Meteorite Dials. I've never been a fan. I think that they can be interesting to look at, but nothing I'd ever wear. The Rolex Pepsi white Meteorite Dial, it's interesting, but again, I would never spend money on something like that. And then when we get to the other really wonky colored Meteorite Dials, it's just dynamic in a way that is disgusting. So for me, it's a no-go. For some of you guys, you might absolutely love it. So again, this is my list. So this isn't a rule for you guys. It's just something I don't want to see in 2021. I'm sick of Meteorite Dials. So while the first few items on my list today might be somewhat subjective, I think the next one, number 5, is something that we can all agree on. In 2021, I don't want to see Rolex stainless steel hype. Okay, I'm sick of the stainless steel sports watch hype that comes from Rolex and Rolex fanboys every single year. And I get it. You guys accuse me of being a Rolex fanboy. I have a few Rolexes. I like the company. I like their watches, vintage to be specific. There's not a whole lot of modern Rolex offerings that I'm a fan of. But one thing that I'm absolutely not a fan of is how every year there's just extreme hype around their stainless steel sports watches, and I don't get it. I've never understood it. And with us feeding this hype and feeding this flame as a community, Rolex kind of uses that not to be inspired. They feel like, oh, well, we can just rest on our laurels. And the proof of that is, the proof is in the pudding. Look at what they've been giving us. Okay, this year, there was some huge hype, just like every year, about their stainless steel offering. So what did they do? They slimmed down the lugs and then bumped up the diameter by 1 millimeter. So it just totally, those changes just canceled each other out. And then, okay, they discontinued the Smurf, but then gave the Smurf a black dial. And now they never do anything every year. It's just one big disappointment. So as a watch community, we need to just stop hyping them up. Not because I want to manipulate the market in any way. It's not because, oh, maybe we can bring their prices down. No, it's stupid. We need to stop making a big deal about their stainless steel watches every year, because every year they just disappoint us. And the 6th thing I don't want to see in 2021 are integrated bracelets. Okay, they were charming at first. They were sleek, they were smooth, they were, very nice how they just kind of flowed from the case into the bracelet. Where does the bracelet end and where does the case begin? You don't know, because it's all integrated. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. Yeah, guys, I don't know what it is. This year, 2020, and even tail end 2019, it seems like it was the year or era, I should say, of Royal Oak homages. And I'm not saying the Royal Oak is the only watch that can utilize an integrated bracelet system. I'm just saying that Bell & Ross, Chopard, Lange, even Tudor came out with watches around this time that's like integrated bracelet, blue dial, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, what's interesting about that? When you see it over and over and over again, it kind of makes it a lot less charming. So I don't know about you, but for me in 2021, I can just forget about integrated bracelets. I would be so happy with that. And number 7, the 7th thing I don't want to see in 2021, anything to do with the Omega Speedmaster. Seriously, guys, I own an Omega Speedy Pro 25th anniversary moon watch. I love it. I'll probably never get rid of it. It's a very horologically significant watch, very fun watch with a very rich history. But like I said in the first item on this list, Omega just keeps messing with the Speedmaster. This year alone, there was like 1,000 special editions for the Omega Speedmaster, and now that this year's almost over, we're entering 2021 with this new caliber. Everyone was freaking out last week about the Speedy Pro being discontinued when it's literally not being discontinued. It's just getting an upgrade. So guess what, Omega, if you're listening, which you're probably not, just leave it at that. Okay, just leave it. Leave it alone. You gave it a new movement. You gave it a nice dynamic matte dial. Everyone's happy. Cool. Just leave it alone going into 2021. I don't want any more special editions. Can you stop hammering? God.
Stop it!
I'm kidding, guys. They cannot hear me, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okie dokie, guys. So the 8th thing I don't want to see in 2021, watch subscription services. That's right. I thought that I've combated them in the past enough to where they will not ever rear their ugly head ever again. I don't want to use the names of these watch subscription services because I don't want people to go Googling them and maybe using them. I don't want to give them any marketing. There's one purveyor that is very prevalent in like the social media space. I guess I just didn't do a good enough job, guys, combating them in the past because they're still around. Now, the largest purveyor of these watch subscription services has actually blocked me on social media, but I have other social media accounts, so I'm still able to see what they're doing. It seems very disingenuous what these companies do. They say that they're giving you like a watch every month, but you're paying for a subscription. And so here's the thing, guys, if you're paying for a subscription, even if it's not a watch, there could be a subscription service where they give you fruit every month. Okay, if you're getting any product per month that you pay a subscription on, you're paying for those products. They're not giving you anything. You're buying them monthly. Does that make sense? If you're paying a fee every month, the products that purveyor gives you is not something they give you. You are paying for it. But I think the most disingenuous thing these watch subscription services do is they tell you that the watches that you are receiving every month are worth more than the subscription itself. And so that's really what dupes people because they get confused. They don't understand that a company can literally list an MSRP at anything. Like they could say that the watch that is being sent to you has an MSRP of $1 billion. But guess what? That's not necessarily what that watch is worth, because if you try to move that watch elsewhere, if it's a junky watch, which more often than not it is, people aren't going to pay $1 billion for that watch. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can go on eBay, you can go on forums, you can find people trying to unload these watches they get from watch subscription services, and no one's biting. No one's buying them because guess what? They're junky watches, guys. So I'm not trying to sound harsh. I'm just trying to get you to see the light, okay? If you pay a monthly subscription for a company to send you watches, number one, you're paying for those watches. And number two, the MSRP, these guys list their watches at a higher price than the subscription is, doesn't mean that that watch is worth more money. You try to sell that watch elsewhere, you're not going to be making a profit on those watches. You're literally throwing your money away every month. And then what's the most interesting part about some of these watch subscription services is that they say that you're going to win a high ticket item. Perhaps you have the ability to win a high ticket item, the largest of which claims that you could win a Rolex. What's interesting is that in their marketing materials, materials, you see things like Yacht Masters, and sometimes I think I've seen like a Batman and stuff. And do you really think for a moment that they're going to be sending someone a Yacht Master or a Batman? No. The only things you see in their own media are of people unboxing, being like, oh my God, I want a Rolex. And it's always, from what I've seen, a vintage Datejust with no bracelet, no papers, no Rolex box. You don't know anything about that watch's history. Is it an authentic dial? We don't know. And the people's just ecstatic because it has the Rolex logo on the crown. It's very sketch to me. So if you want my opinion, I know I have a lot of new subscribers since I've spoken about these services. If you want my opinion about these services, do not partake. Why do I hate them so much? Well, for the reasons I've just listed, but here's one last thing I want to talk about with this point. Watch subscription services defeat the point of watch collecting. Okay, the point of watch collecting, in my opinion, isn't to fill your watch box up with just any old watch. It's to find what you like, it's to learn about it, and it's to curate a collection that really speaks to you. You've picked these watches out. These watches mean something to you. Perhaps a watch has been given to you by someone you care about that adds sentimental value. For instance, my dad, my great-grandfather, I have watches from them. Those aren't watches that I purchased myself, but they have some sentimental value and they are very valuable and they mean something to me. Okay? But if the point was to just fill my watch box up with just any old watch, then yeah, I'd just be picking up watches just willy-nilly. It wouldn't matter. And that's what you're doing when you're paying for these watch subscription services. You're paying for someone that you don't know, that doesn't know you, just to ship you something that you may or may not like. And that while that may be seemingly fun on the front end, when you see some of the watches you get, boy oh boy, does the fun fade away. I've taken a look at some of these watches. Garbage. So again, guys, if you're a younger collector or even an older collector, just take your time, do it right, find out what you like, and you'll be much more satisfied when you come across a watch and you attain a watch that you've really wanted and that really speaks to you. So don't just fill your watch box up with random watches that some stupid business sends you that you've paid for. Again, and don't be duped by their marketing saying that you could win a Rolex or something. It's just, it's not worth it. Number 9, the 9th thing that I'm sick of seeing and I don't want to see in 2021, and this is big, it's very relevant right now because I believe one of the Phillips auctions just happened and a Daytona sold for like over $4 million or something. Auction hype, okay? All auctions do is manipulate the market in ways that are very, very negative. People see, I think there was like a new old stock GMT Master Pepsi that sold for like 33 grand. Guess what? Everybody and their mothers that owns a Pepsi has now bumped up their price to $33,000. They think that because a Pepsi somewhere has sold for 33 grand, theirs is now worth that. It's a very negative manipulation of like these prices. They don't understand that there are a lot of variables that go into valuations and stuff. That was a new old box Pepsi. I believe it was a complete kit, never worn. Do I think that that one was worth 33 grand? I mean, I don't know, but someone, I guess, paid that for it. But just because you have a watch that is similar, but you've been wearing it, you don't have any of the paperwork, you don't have the box, and it's been bumping around your uncle's watch drawer for like 20 years, doesn't mean that yours is now worth the same amount as that pristine one. It's just silly. So I could go on. I'm probably going to make a rant about this just by itself, but auction hype is just so dumb. And yeah, it's just a very negative representation and manipulation of watch prices. So yeah, I think it gives people the wrong idea when it comes to valuing watches. And this is something that I'm very aware of now, especially because I own my own watch store. So yeah, it might just be me, but this auction hype, it needs to end in 2021. Well, it needs to end this year, so we don't have it in 2021. And finally, the 10th thing that I'd be very happy never to see ever again from this point on. Luxury smartwatches. Ooh, I've made a whole episode complaining about these. If you want to watch that episode, click up here. But Tag Heuer, Hublot with their Big Bang E, whatever. It's just so silly. So you can buy an Apple Watch. I think we're on like Apple Watch 6 or something. And There's a plane overhead. Of course, guys. All right, I apologize, guys. I don't actually know exactly what the mic can pick up. I can just only pay attention to the playback levels, and I just, I can hear the plane, so I just wanted to take a break. Okay, so I think we're on Apple Watch 6, and I think you can get it for like around $300 if you really want like the latest Apple Watch, and I think you can get like a yellow gold one for a lot more than that. But let's just say you wanted the newest Apple Watch. Okay, right now at the time of filming, I believe it's around $300. I think you can maybe even get it for less than that. Let me take a look right now. Actually, yeah, I was able to find one for $269. So, okay, very cool. And I think the rest you can find them for hovering around that $299. There's some $399, moving all the way up to $579. So there are some that are more cost effective, some more expensive, depending on, I don't know, like data and memory and things like that. But okay, do you really want to spend the thousands and thousands and thousands more for something that says Hublot on the dial? I wouldn't. Or the Tag Heuer Connected, or the Mont Blanc Summit, or any of these stupid, silly luxury brands selling you a smartwatch knowing full well that item is going to be obsolete in less than a year. I'm not kidding. Why do Apple Watches come out every year? Because they understand that it's like designed obsolescence, right? That is going to be obsolete. A new smartphone comes out every year because they're designed to be obsolete. This isn't a conspiracy, guys. These items become obsolete very quickly. They're cycled through very quickly because new stuff comes out, new things they want to give you come out, and yeah, it means the old one doesn't work as well and they want you to buy the new one. So if you're going to be doing that, knowing that your tech gear becomes obsolete and you're gonna have to buy it in the next year or so, why would you spend thousands when you could just spend like $300 on an Apple Watch? Okay, you want a smartwatch with a ton of functions and apps and everything, buy the Apple Watch, all right? And then the next year, you've at least only thrown out like $300 versus you getting the Hublot Big Bang E and you've spent like $5,000 and now it's obsolete. What are you gonna do then? That's gonna be a harder pill to swallow. So yeah, guys, I don't even wear an Apple Watch. The highest tech thing I wear on my wrist is this. People have been asking me about it. It's called a Whoop strap, and it's literally not a smartwatch. It doesn't even have a screen, doesn't tell the time. It tells me my respiratory intervals, gives me my heart rate, gives me my resting heart rate, which I'm very proud to say is 39. That's right, guys. I've been running 2 miles a day. It keeps track of my pace and everything, and I've gotten my 2 mile below 20 minutes, which for someone that's like hovering around 220, 215 most days, it's pretty good. I'm not the fastest. I'm not Usain Bolt, but I'm giving him a run for his money. But yeah, just I had to get this off my chest, and now that 2020 is almost over, thank God, I figured now would be the best time to release this episode. So 10 things I do not want to see in 2021. Go ahead in the comment section below. Let me know your 10 things you hate, 10 things you don't want to see past 2020. Leave me that list in the comment section below. So guys, I had some fun with this episode. Thank you for bearing with me. Kind of a beautiful setting, if I do say so myself. My little backyard. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified every time we upload. Join the channel, become a certified T3 bot. It's like YouTube's Patreon. $4.99 a month gets you 6 pieces of content a week, plus access to that members-only Discord chat. And yeah, check out all the affiliate links in the description below. Kind of the one-stop shop for the watch collector down there. Check out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. And yeah, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it.